Hello everyone, welcome to TOSH Pilates library video. My name is Hillary Brown and today I will be covering proper rib placement. This is the second video of our series on rib placement and covering the basic 5 principles of Pilates. These principles are important not only for your Pilates practice, however, if you apply these throughout your life, it'll prevent injury and kind of make you better at everything else you do. So in this video, I will be covering the basic principles of how to find proper rib placement, and then I'll give you some exercises that you can use at home. All right, so let's go ahead and lay down on your mat. And let's just start by putting your hands onto your ribs. Okay, feet are flat on your mat and knees can be bent. And just go ahead and breathe. Go ahead and inhale through your nose, exhaling out of your mouth. Inhaling through the nose, exhale out of the mouth. And what I'd like you to feel is if you can get the ribs to breathe out, so you go out first, feel the ribs expand to the sides of the room first, and then on the exhale, let them soften and connect to the mat. So inhale, ribs out to the sides, and then exhaling. Good. So as you do this, just be aware that your abdominal tissue attaches to the inside of your rib cage, right? So that's why rib placement is super important for thoracic, your upper spine stability, okay, and keeping your lower spine in the proper place. So as you breathe, there's a 360 3D dimensional movement of the rib cage. Okay, so it's not just one directional. And I want you just to experience or see if you can expand your ribs 2 to 3 inches to the sides of the room first. And then on the exhale, I want you to scoop your belly and let the ribs just kind of settle onto your mat. Let's take 2 more breaths. Inhaling and exhale. When you exhale all of your air out, maybe experience the front side of your abdominals contracting. Okay, and when you do that, try not to change your spine in any way. So you're maintaining a neutral spine, right? So there's a little space between your low back and the mat. And you want to maintain that neutral spine as we find neutral rib placement. Okay, so that means that your back ribs are attached to your mat and you can still maintain your neutral. Great. Now your back ribs are attached to the mat, your abdominals are engaged. Inhale, lift your arms up towards the ceiling. Okay, exhale. On your inhale, take your arms back behind you, only as far as you can without the rib cage leaving your mat. Okay, so the back ribs stay connected. Exhale, arms back up. Inhale, reaching your hands back overhead. Again, still maintaining a neutral spine. Exhale, arms come back up. So anytime you bring your arms overhead, it gets more challenging. Okay, only go back as far as you can, where you can keep your back ribs attached to the mat, neutral spine, and belly is on and in. Good, exhale the arms back up. Let's do 2 more. Inhale, arms back overhead. Exhale, sink even deeper. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, back up towards the ceiling. Place your hands down onto your mat. All right, now we're going to be going through another area where rib placement is very important. So take another inhale. Exhale, soften your ribs down towards the mat, only enough to where you're not forcing your ribs to contract down and press down, which takes me out of my neutral spine. I want you to maintain the neutral spine, okay, and float your right leg up to tabletop. That's a 90-degree angle of the knee and the hip. And then, this is the first level. Second level would be both legs into tabletop, okay? And then you'll bring your hands up towards the ceiling and try it one more time. Inhale, reach your hands back. And then exhale, coming back up. Again, inhale, reach your arms overhead. Exhale, coming back up. If this is too much for you, you can always lower one leg down, okay? Or you can keep both legs down until you master the rib cage staying connected to the mat while maintaining a neutral spine. Okay, So with both legs up in tabletop, inhale the arms back overhead, and exhale back up. Let's try one more. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, arms up. Hands come down by your sides. Okay, and then let's go into some toe dips. So inhale, reach your right foot to the floor as if you were dipping it in water. Okay, now this is important too. Only go as far as you can with these toe dips as you can maintain neutral spine and neutral ribs. If you know that your low back prefers to be in an imprint position, okay, go ahead and take that. But keeping the ribs absolutely still, it's a lot of work keeping these ribs together. Good, let's try one more on the left. Exhale, inhale, lower the right leg, and then lower the left. And you can sway your knees side to side, let everything just kind of relax. All right, so the next progression will be finding your tabletop position again. So if you know that imprint works best for you, okay, really important to connect the ribs into that neutral place, and then you use your obliques to draw your hip bones towards your rib tips. Right? I'm gonna work on maintaining a neutral spine for this next one. So inhale, pick the right leg up. Exhale the left leg to tabletop. Okay, now inhale, double leg toe dip. Exhale, lift. So I can't go as far with my double leg as I did with my single leg because it would take me out of a neutral spine and neutral rib. Okay, so maintain this locked and loaded position, which is really hard. Okay, I always need to check in on every exhale that my back ribs are connected to the mat. So I'm inhaling to lower the legs, exhale to lift. Let's do 3 more. Inhale, lower, exhale, lift, still maintaining the neutral spine. Inhale, lower, exhale, lift. Last one, inhale, lower, exhale, lift. Inhale, lower the left leg, exhale, lower the right leg. Sway your knees side to side. All right, so this next series, you can pick any one of those levels. You can have your feet on the mat. The next level would be one leg up in tabletop. And then the third or last level would be legs in tabletop. All right, so I'm gonna bring out some hand weights. You can do all of this without weights. Okay, it's still challenging without the weights. Right, so finding your neutral spine. Exhale, connect the ribs. Okay, inhale, pull the belly in to lift the right leg. Exhale, left leg up into tabletop. Arms come up towards the ceiling. Inhale, open the arms out to the sides. Exhale, draw the arms back overhead. So wrists about in line with your shoulders. Okay, my ribs are working to keep connected to the mat, especially as I open my arms. And then exhale, come back in. Let's do 2 more. Inhaling and exhale. Inhale, opens. Exhale, close. Let's take it into scissors. So reach your right arm overhead, left arm down below. So here's an overhead challenge where you don't let those ribs rise. And then inhale, exhale, switch. Just following your breath. Inhaling and exhale, switch. Every time you exhale, deepen your belly even more to your spine. Keep those ribs connected to the mat. Inhale and exhale, switch. Let's do 2 more. Inhale, exhale, switch. Inhale, exhale, up towards the ceiling. All right, here's your overhead challenge. So inhale, bring your arms only as far back as you can without letting the ribs leave the mat. Swim your arms around to the sides and up towards the ceiling. For arm circles, inhale, reach your arms overhead. I'm getting a little tremble of truth in my abdominals when I do that because they're so engaged and I'm working really hard to keep those ribs connected, okay, not only in the front but also in the back on my mat. Good, let's try one more. Inhale overhead, exhale around and up towards the ceiling. Reverse. Inhale, lower your hands down towards your hips. Circle your arms around. As you reach overhead, lower the ribs down. Hands come down, open to the sides, up towards the ceiling. Good, 3 more. Inhale, lower. Exhale around, the ribs stay connected as you reach overhead. Good. Again, only go as far overhead as you can without letting the ribs leave the mat. Last one. Inhale, lower. Exhale, around and up. Good. Go ahead and now we'll add your toe dips, okay? So start with a single leg as you bring your hands overhead. Woo, tremble. Exhale, pull back up to the ceiling. Inhale, the other leg toe dips. Hands come overhead, ribs stay connected. Good. If this is challenging for you to maintain a neutral spine, again, you can take an imprint, okay? Or you can lower one foot down and then just start with a single leg toe dip, all right? And then you know where we're going next to level up, double leg lower. Super challenging with arms overhead. Exhale up. 4 more. Inhale down. Exhale up. Maintaining a neutral spine or your imprint position with those ribs staying connected to the mat. Okay, so whatever position you want your spine in, well, whatever position you're working on, try and maintain that. And it doesn't matter the degree or the range of motion of your toe dips. What we're looking for is maintaining that neutral rib, neutral spine, neutral pelvis position as you do this. I think that was a lot more than 3. Let's go ahead and do one more. Exhale, back up, lower one leg, then the other. Take your arms open to the sides, and then you can do a gentle twist. Just let your knees float towards the right, twist and look towards the left. So the ribs will come off of the mat. Use your left obliques to bring your hips back to the mat. Knees come back up to the ceiling. Inhale, tilt the other way. Feel that nice stretch along your right ribs. Good. Exhale, the ribs come first, waist, hips, then knees. Nice work. All right, let's come up onto your knees. Okay, if you have a hard time on your knees, you can do this cross-legged on a pillow or a prop of some kind, and or you can pad your knees. Okay, we're just going to take our arms to the side and then tilt over to one side, lengthen out your top leg. Okay, so one long line from your foot to your head. Now rib placement, you want to keep the ribs in that back space as if we were still on our mat. Take a nice stretch over here so you still feel the back of your ribs connected to your mat. You're going to bend your top knee, come on up, forearm comes to your thigh, take a stretch this way. Side bending is really nice. We get a lot of flexion and extension twisting in our days, but hardly any side bending. Okay, so when you side bend, think about pressing that bottom hip forward. Ribs are stacked, all right? So don't let the ribs twist. It's like you're moving in between 2 panes of glass. Okay, and then you'll push up and stretch over. Good, think about the bottom ribs coming forward. One more time. Down onto the mat, top leg straight, bottom ribs spiraling forward. Good, and then you can even take a little twist here. Coming back up. And we'll do the other side. Great. Okay, so I'm gonna move over a little bit. Side bend to the other direction. Okay, top leg comes out straight. Spiral the ribs, so the bottom ribs are stacked right underneath the top ribs, and then keep them in the back space. Okay, and then you'll lift up. Oh, here we go. Bend that knee, forearm comes to your thigh, bottom ribs want to spiral under. Coming down, straighten that leg. Side bend, press the bottom hip forward. Okay, if being on your wrists is not an option, you can come to your fists. We're only here briefly. Externally rotate that top leg. Take a nice stretch to the other side. Bottom ribs twist under. And then coming out. One more. Okay, here. Bottom ribs, bottom hip presses forward. And then you can take that twist up towards the ceiling. Good. And you can come up. And you're all done. thank you for joining me, and please check out the rest of our videos on our TOSH Pilates YouTube channel, where you can find many, many more videos. And thank you so much, and see you next time.